In my hands, I have a pair of Jabra hearing aids and a pair of ReSound hearing aids. Now, to the non-expert eye, these devices look basically identical. They have similar features, and yes, the logos are a bit different, but the form factor, the way the apps work, really down to the detail, these are very similar products. ReSound is available at a local clinic, and Jabra is available online or at Costco. As a consumer, when I first started researching hearing aids, the name brands of all the different products really confused me. I could tell that I was seeing very similar products, but they had different names and maybe different pricing structures and even different fitting ranges. So in this video, we're going to dig into the sometimes wild world of hearing aid brands. There are over 100 of them on the market. We're going to talk about how to think about all of these brands. Many of them are actually owned by the same manufacturers and share sister technology or very similar technology like Jabra and ReSound. We're going to get into all of that. We'll break down the big five or the largest five manufacturers that really drive forward the hearing aid industry. And then we'll talk about some of the newer companies that are independent and how to think about them in the overall landscape. If we haven't yet met, my name's Blake Cadwell. I'm a hearing aid wearer and I've spent time in over 50 different hearing aids in the last year. I'm also the co-founder at Soundly.com. We're one of the leading destinations for hearing health research and shopping in the United States. If you like what you see in this video, I'd appreciate it if you give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It helps us reach more people. With that, let's dig into the world of hearing aid brands. All right, so the way we're going to do this is we're going to start with the big five, the largest five companies that really drive forward R&D and make the largest number of units across the world. You could think of these manufacturers as Honda and Volvo, maybe Mercedes in the category. But what's different in the hearing health category is that many of them have sub-brands that use their core technology, but under different names. So we're going to get into all of that. And we're going to start with the largest manufacturer on the market, which is Sonova. So this is really the number one brand of the big five. It's a Swiss-based company, and their flagship products that you would find at a local clinic come under the brand names Phonak and Unitron. So if you see a Phonak product or a Unitron product, it's coming from Sonova. Now, Sonova also makes Sennheiser hearing aids, which are currently our top-rated over-the-counter devices. While each of these products has a totally different name, and in some cases comes through a totally different channel of care, they share core technologies. An example with Sonova is that all of their products use the same Bluetooth connection method. So they all use Bluetooth Classic. Many of them use the same base chipsets. And when you put in a Sonova hearing aid, you can actually hear the similarity in how they manage background noise or sudden sounds. Sonova owns some other minor brands, including the retail brand Audio Nova. If you go into an Audio Nova shop, that's actually Sonova owned. And they also have a really unique product on the market called Phonak Lyric. This is an invisible style device. It goes deep inside your ear canal and actually stays in there 24/7. You just swap it out every 6 to 8 weeks. I tried this a while ago, and there's a whole video on Phonak Lyric on our channels. It's definitely interesting to check out. So Sonova is the market leader by volume across the world. They have this well-rounded portfolio with Phonak, Unitron, and Sennheiser as their real lead brands. Now here's another example of the Unitron product and the Sennheiser product. Again, they're really coming out of the same base technologies. If you compare not just the chargers, but the hearing aids themselves side by side, you'll see lots of similarities in their design and what's actually happening under the hood as well. The second largest hearing aid manufacturer globally is Demant. Their big brands are Oticon, and in Costco, they sell Philips hearing aids. So if you see an Oticon hearing aid or a Philips hearing aid, you can kind of imagine that they're connected from a technological standpoint. If you even look at some of the feature sets of the most recent Philips hearing aid and the Oticon Intent hearing aid, which is their flagship currently, they're sharing a lot of the same features. These are virtually identical products. They're just sold through different channels under a different name. So Demant is the second big manufacturer in the category. Number 3 is WS Audiology. So WS Audiology is the result of a few different mergers, but currently their flagship products are Signia and Widex. As with all of these top-end manufacturers, Signia and Widex hearing aids are really excellent. Widex is known for its speed, so how fast it brings sound from the outside world into your ears, kind of the latency or the delay time. That's what Widex is really known for. A lot of music lovers enjoy Widex. My mom actually wore Widex for about 20 years. Signia is a more well-rounded workhorse. It has a great charger, a long-lasting battery life. I find that it's really comfortable in the ears. It has great Bluetooth connection. So it's kind of a modern, well-rounded, all-around product. But both are made by the same parent company, WS Audiology. The other hearing aid brands that WS Audiology manufactures are Sony hearing aids. So our current favorite in-ear over-the-counter product is Sony CRE-C20. That's made by WS Audiology. They also make a few other variations of their Sony hearing aids. Just like Demant, WS Audiology has a special brand that is designated to Costco, and that is the Rexton brand. So globally, you can get Rexton hearing aids through various outlets, but in the US, you'll only see Rexton in Costco. And there, the core technology shares most similarities with Signia. So it's really mostly based on a Signia hearing aid, and that's what's available under the Rexton brand inside of Costco. So again, WS Audiology, the third largest manufacturer in the world. They carry Signia, Widex, Rexton, and Sony hearing aids. Those are all coming from that group and share their general engineering philosophy. Number 4 on the market is GN. This is a Danish-based company, and their two big brands that we mentioned at the top of the video are ReSound and Jabra. ReSound is available at local clinics, and Jabra is available both over the counter, sold online, and also at Costco. So you can get access to GN's technology through those couple of brands and in those couple of channels. They've kept their portfolio pretty simple. Now, one additional note within the GN family is that they also manufacture most of the devices for Beltone locations. So this is a chain of hearing aid retailers. And if you go into a Beltone office, you will most likely come out with a GN manufactured hearing aid, typically under special names that Beltone gives to these products. So to recap, GN is ReSound, Jabra, and Beltone's portfolio. The fifth member of the Big Five is Starkey. It's the only US-based manufacturer, and their hero product has the same brand name. So Starkey hearing aids is their main product. They also have Audible and New Ear, but the vast majority of Starkey's products are manufactured under their own name, under Starkey. Okay, so those are the Big Five and some of the key brands that sit underneath each of their brand houses. Now, in my opinion, there are a lot of advantages to purchasing hearing aids that have a connection with one of these 5 manufacturers. Now, we'll talk about some of the newer players in just a moment, but these large manufacturers have all been around for decades, if not 100 years. They have a lot of experience. They have a lot of infrastructure. They definitely stand behind their products, and they clearly have staying power. So anytime we're directing folks to, let's say, an over-the-counter product, we give a little bit of extra weight to something like Sony, which we know has the backing of WS Audiology, or Sennheiser, which we know has that long-term backing of the market leader, Sonova. So this is something that goes through our heads as we're thinking about the credibility and the depth of engineering that goes into these particular products. That said, we're always excited when a brand new entrant comes into the category. They bring fresh thinking, new ideas, sort of a desire to disrupt and do something different. One example of this is Nuance Audio, which are these hearing aids and glasses combined. There's actually a speaker in the armband that plays sound into your open ear canal. So it just sends in a little sound boost based on an array of microphones on the front of these glasses. This is a brand new product just in the last year, and it comes from the brand Nuance Audio. But Nuance Audio is owned by EssilorLuxottica, which is the world's largest eyewear maker. So they make Ray-Ban and Oakley glasses and many, many others. So it's a new entrant into the category that comes from a very credible parent brand. It'll be interesting to watch over the next few years, see if EssilorLuxottica takes a stronger position in the hearing health category. So that's one of the newer entrants. Another mid-sized brand to know about is Lucid Hearing. So they make all the hearing aids available in Sam's Club. If you walk into Sam's Club, you wouldn't have a range of brands available. You'd just be looking at Lucid. It's almost the house brand for Sam's Club. I just recently did a full review of the Sam's Club process and the Lucid hearing aids, so you can check that out on the channel. Lucid does have some over-the-counter products available online, but in our opinion, they're not the market leaders, and so we typically recommend something like Sony or Sennheiser or Nuance Audio if you're going down the over-the-counter route. Another important pair of disruptors in the hearing health category are Lexie and Eargo. They actually just recently merged, so they're now owned by the same company. And Lexie has the Lexie powered by Bose hearing aids, and Eargo is long known as an invisible hearing aid maker. They make these great chargers, a pretty comfortable product. We sell both of these products at soundly.com and consider them to be market leaders. Lexie and Eargo are owned independently, so they don't have a connection to one of the big five, and they make their own products at their own manufacturers. So they're really the largest truly independent player in the over-the-counter category. Another brand that is fully independent is ELEHEAR. If you follow the channel, you've likely heard us talk about their products, which are sub 500. Our favorite product on their line is the ELEHEAR Beyond. They do have a new pro version of their product, which we don't find is worth the step up in price. So ELEHEAR Beyond is still our recommendation for folks who are looking to spend less than $500. This is an independent company, but we think they have pretty solid R&D and they do a nice job managing background noise and sudden sounds. Now, if you're keeping track at home, you've almost certainly realized we have not talked about 100 brands, and that is because there are lots of other brands on the market, including some that we typically don't recommend to folks. Audion is an example of that. We have a full review of Audion on our channel. MD Hearing is another lower cost and, in our opinion, lower quality product that doesn't often deliver results for consumers. Nano hearing aids have fluctuated in popularity and have also had some legal troubles over the years. And then there are a whole host of white label or unknown products that are available for anywhere from $25 to $200 on Amazon. I've personally tested many of those brands, but many of them I have not. They often come from the same contract manufacturers overseas and are shipped in bulk and then sold on Amazon or through Alibaba. In our opinion, if you're going to go with over-the-counter hearing aids or prescription hearing aids, there are a lot of advantages to going with a known brand. So think of one of the top 15 or 20 brands, likely with a connection to one of these large manufacturers. Maybe it's an upstart like Nuance Audio, which is brand new to the category, but backed by a big company. Typically, that's what we recommend as you're sorting through brands. If you go with a total unknown, it's harder to predict what the quality of that product will be and how long that company will be in business in order to service your product, handle your warranty, and just give you good service. At Soundly, we've chosen only to carry and sell brands that are from one of the big five manufacturers or from a handful of really trusted over-the-counter sellers who are newer to the market, but we believe are stable and do a really good job caring for customers. You're at the beginning of your hearing aid research, trying to make sense of all the different brands you see. I hope this video has been really helpful. If you have questions or you want more support, head over to soundly.com. Our team would be happy to answer your questions. You can text or call us anytime, or of course, send us an email. And there are lots of tools at soundly.com to help you test your hearing, compare brands side by side, and generally just get smart in the world of hearing health. Hope this video has been helpful, and good luck with your research.